We are all set.
Are you recording? Yes, you are.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, Lauren, and welcome everybody. I'd like to open the 2020 annual meeting of the Marblehead Museum. We have a quorum to start the meeting. We have a bit of a business to go through for our annual meeting, and then we will be having a presentation by David Crowley. David's book, Azer Marblehead. I've got a couple copies right behind me. I really look forward to David's presentation tonight. It's really neat to see sort of the second generation of Marblehead historians being played out here again tonight. So, so thank you, David, and I look forward to hearing your presentation. And I'd like to start by thanking the person who inspired my love of Marblehead history. And in order to do that, I've got to share a couple of pictures here. My grandfather is on the far right, Bowden Gregory Osborne. These were just some of the historians who worked together as I watched in awe as a little kid as they relived, promoted, and shared Marblehead's amazing history. Without them, we would not have a lot of the history that we reference today, all chronicled and documented. And it reminds me of the importance of each generation to continue the cause. In true Bowd Osborne form, I've just got a couple more pictures. When I became president, this is what I expected it to be like. I need a soundtrack on here, I think. And I immediately learned that the success of the organization is much more like this. Bear with me. Honestly, we are so very fortunate to have, let me see here, hold on one sec. Honestly, we are so very fortunate to have the Marblehead Museum, and the only reason locally and nationally, honestly, we are so very fortunate to have a Marblehead Museum. And the only reason for our locally and nationally significant organization's success is because of the people. I would like to start by thanking my good friend and partner, retiring Vice President Amy Drinker. Amy, any leader could not ask for a better wingman than Amy. Her dedication, commitment, and attention to detail is directly related to the many successes that we have had over the past 6 years during my time as president. Because she'd never talk to me again if I went on, I want to share my deepest appreciation for your work on behalf of the organization, Amy. To our amazing staff, including our Executive Director, Lauren McCormick, Amy Durbin, Associate Director of Programs and Operations, Sandy Greenlaw, our Membership Coordinator, Susan Rogers, our Development Coordinator, and Allie Donovan, our Bookkeeper, I am grateful for your support and to your commitment for the museum. Lauren in particular is just amazing. Lauren filled the role of Executive Director with grace and an unwavering ability to get it all done, while maintaining a high level of museum standards and making everyone feel heard and respected. Her abilities to manage 1,000 projects at the same time while managing our staff and resources is an underrated talent, because seeing her work from day to day and from request to request appears seamless and rarely without hesitation. I could go on all night thanking people, but there are more people coming up before we get to David Crowley's presentation, which I know we are all looking forward to. I will leave it with an extreme heartfelt thank you to our countless volunteers for whom we could not afford and certainly could not operate without. To every board member that I have served with, to the docents, office help, garden club, endowment committee, and so many more, I will be forever grateful. I will add a hearty welcome to the new board members coming aboard tonight with your vote, and share an honor that I recently had in naming my good friend Karen Lang as an honorary director of the Marblehead Museum. From Marblehead 101 to Marblehead Memories, Our museum works tirelessly to keep our history and traditions, excuse me, I didn't edit really well, rebuilding all three of our property stool legs, including the GAR Museum, the renovated and reimagined J.R.J. Frost Gallery, and the incredible showing of support by raising over $250,000 for the 250th celebration of the Jeremiah Lee Mansion. We prove that through the support of our individual and corporate donors, we are a valuable resource in our community. If one photo could sum it all up, it would have to be this. Love it. Love it. My favorite picture. Maybe not Lauren's, but mine. I would be remiss if I did not mention the support of Holly and Kevin Crosby and their family for recently acquiring and donating 2 amazing J.R.J. Frost paintings for our gallery, raising the stature of our collection and exhibit while bringing these pieces home to the museum in perpetuity. I will leave not only with tremendous gratitude for the museum and her people, but remind our membership that now more than ever, we need your financial support. With the addition of our development team, we are always working hard to raise the funds to sustain our properties, our organization, and our mission. Please remember us and spread the word, as simple memberships make an enormous difference to the organization. Your annual giving allows us to keep our operations moving, and benefactor giving sustains us for the future. Thank you for coming to our annual meeting, and I am very enthusiastic for the next chapter of the Marblehead Museum under the leadership of Maura Phelan. At this time, I would like to welcome Vice President Patty Peterson to present the nominating report.
Thank you, Jack. Good evening. Thank you all for coming. My name is Patty Peterson. I am Vice President and Chair of the Nomination Committee. This evening's roster of nominations is made at the recommendation of the museum's board. Our bylaws state that the following motions and votes are to be made by this evening's members, not including currently serving members of the board. The board's first recommendation for a vote by the membership, not including board members, is to elect the following slate of officers to each serve a 1-year term. Maura Phelan, President; Patty Peterson, Vice President; Pat Lozier, Treasurer; Kim Downing, Secretary. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Yes.
Motion
Yes,
made
so
by-
moved.
May I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Susan said, okay, thank you.
Susan, all those
Okay.
in favor,
I
please
will-
raise your hand.
I'm actually going to launch the poll right now. Sorry. So if you guys can go ahead and vote, you should have a poll in front of you. Is everybody? Yep. Oh, good. All right. Thank you. Yep. Go ahead and vote. Give you a few seconds to do that.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Let's do another 5 or 6 seconds. Okay. Great. So I will share the results. We have 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 abstain. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand.
Oh, that's it. We're good.
You were
We're
good.
gonna-
All those
We can do it. We
opposed,
can do it with that.
motion
Sorry.
carried.
Sorry.
Okay,
Zoom craziness, everybody.
I know. Okay,
Sorry.
terrific. The board's second recommendation for a vote by the membership, not including board members, is to elect the following candidate to serve another 3-year term on the board of directors from 2020 to 2023, Harold Kokonos. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Karen, thank you.
May I have a second to that motion?
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand.
We'll
Or
go ahead and
vote-
we'll
or
vote. Yep.
vote on the,
Or click your mouse.
You click your mouse and
What?
raise your hand.
I don't want to
2
leave
more
him.
seconds.
I would be very upset if somebody walked away with him.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. We'll go ahead and we'll end the polling. I'll share the results. 23 in favor, None opposed, one abstain. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Harold, for your continuing work on behalf of the museum. The board's second recommendation for a vote by the membership, not including board members, is to elect the following candidate to serve another 3-year term on the board of directors from 2020 to 2023, Chris Coughlin.
So
May I
moved.
have a motion?
So moved.
Judy, thank you. Second?
Second.
Karen, thank you. Here we go. Thank you. Polling is active. Another couple of seconds. Great. Thank you, everybody. Looks like we have 23 in favor, none opposed, and 1 abstain. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for your continuing work on behalf of the museum. The board's third recommendation for a vote by the membership, not including board members, is to elect the following new candidates to serve 3-year terms on the board of directors from 2020 to 2023. They are Rick Kusner, Sigrid Norn, and Andy Peach. May I have a motion?
Sorry, there's also one more. There's Faxon Michaud who's on here. And so the 4 are listed: Rick Kusner, Sigrid Orn, Andy
Okay.
Peach, and
He
Faxon.
wasn't
Thank
on my,
you.
okay.
No problem. Sorry, no problem.
So moved.
Oh, right. Thank you,
Sure,
Karen.
yeah, for a motion. Okay. May I have a second to that motion?
Oh. Thank you, Ellen. The days of Zoom.
Yes.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Ellen seconded. Thank you very much. Ellen Harrington, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Pull us up. Great. Okay, great. And so I'll share the results. 22 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 abstain.
Great. Thank you. Congratulations and welcome to Rick, Singrid, Andrea, and Faxon. On behalf of the board, I'd like to recognize the following board members whose terms have concluded. Their time and talents have made the museum a better organization. They include Jack Attridge, Amy Drinker, Mike Meehan, Jean Record, and Maeve Rice. In saying that, I would just like to take a quick opportunity to thank Jack and Amy, especially. I worked beside you guys for the past 7 years as your second vice president. 2 of the finest people I've ever met, and I've had such an honor and privilege to work with both of them. And I also wanted to welcome Maura Phelan in as our new president. We on the board, and me as her vice president, we have some very, very large shoes to fill. But I want to say on behalf of all of us to Jack and Amy, we're not going to let you down. We know you're close by and always there for us when we need help. And going forward, we want to continue the wonderful tradition and to continue the wonderful leadership that you provided this museum. We wouldn't be here at this place if it wasn't for you too. So thank you from the bottom of my heart and all of our hearts.
Thank you, Patty.
Yes.
Thank you. This concludes the nomination portion of the 2019 annual meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you, Patty. So I think it's
Thank
my
you.
turn to say a couple words. And of course, that was so well said, Patty. Thank you. It really is a testament to the work that Jack, Amy, and the entire board have put into this institution over the past several years to get it to the place that it is. When I started here 4 years ago, the museum already had a great reputation in the museum field, but I think the work done on the J.O.J. Frost Gallery and the Lee Mansion, it's expanded beyond what it even was before. So that is a testament to them and their hard work. So I do want to point out that before I start, that I entered the address of the website address, excuse me, in the chat for our 2019 financial statement. As you all know, we usually do this in March. Now it's July, and that was because we kept thinking, oh, it'll be a couple more weeks and we'll do it in person. And then we realized it just wasn't going to happen. So, but we did go ahead and put the financial statement up early in the March timeframe. So you would have it. You can peruse it now or at your leisure. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always feel free to contact me, to contact Maura or Pat, our treasurer. So I want to start by thanking the board, the staff, Amy, Susan, Sandy, and Allie for the amazing work that they've done. And we could never do what we do as an institution without the work of the volunteers. So many volunteers give so many hours in the archive, in the GAR, in the Lee Mansion, at special events and things like that. It's astounding. The number of hours that are given to this institution is pretty amazing. And of course, I also want to thank you all, our committed members who support us in so many different ways. 2019, it seems a little weird to be talking about 2019 right now, but I'll just mention that it was a really great way to follow up on 2018, which was an amazing year for us. So 2019, we had the Patriot Houses Tour, we had the Bags Tournament, many lectures, lots of expanded public programming and new tours. And we entered 2020 on a very strong basis, both financially and programmatically. So unfortunately, we all know what happened in March, just as our year was really starting to kick off. However, thanks to the hard work of the staff, help from our treasurer, Pat Lozier, and the amazing endowment committee that we are really blessed to have looking over our funds, we are weathering the storm. We are financially stable, and that was thanks in part to Pat's help getting a PPP loan right at the beginning of the pandemic, but also thanks to that foundation that we had that going into the year, that we were already doing well financially and in a sound place, and we continue to be there. So fear not, we are going to get through this, and we are going to come out strong at the end. We've taken many proactive measures since March 13th when we shut down, including I want to highlight some things that Amy Durbin, our associate director, did. She very successfully shifted our programming online. As many of you know, and as many of you have enjoyed, she added a lot of new online activities, games, puzzles, the online scavenger hunts, just to add what we could offer to you while you were home. And I do want to also mention a big thanks to Marble Harbor Investment Council for their help sponsoring for many years now our public programming, our public lecture series. That is huge. That allows us to bring all these amazing speakers to you year in and year out. So as we look forward to the rest of 2020 and beyond, we'll continue to shift to meet the changing world. We're so excited by the early success and interest in the Marblehead Memories Project. As some of you know, that just started in February. And even so, even though we kind of got a little cut short, it has gone so well, and we are really building up the archive, and the monthly memories meetings have been fantastic. Parts of the initiative may have been impacted indeed by the pandemic, but it's a strong multi-tiered effort that will continue and grow. And we do want to thank National Grand Bank for their continued support of the Marblehead Memories Project. And it's really up to your participation. We need your help to keep it moving forward. And you can learn more about how you can participate and about the activities that we have upcoming with the Marblehead Memories Project by visiting our website and going to the Memories tab. We've been thinking very deeply recently about how we can build new relationships in the community and how important it is for us to delve into the diversity of the history of our town, including the history of the Indigenous people and people of color who played such an important and integral role in our community for over 400 years. And we're so excited for some of the new collaborations that we're undertaking and what this year will come. And we will absolutely keep you informed. We hope you will stay involved and stay tuned for everything that's going to be coming up. And I thank you so much for all your support. Now I would like to turn it over to Maura.
Hey, hi everybody. Good evening. With the few minutes that we have left, I just wanted to take the time that I have to say a few more words about Jack and Amy, who are incredible, and I wouldn't be taking over this role today without their amazing tutelage. Jack tracked me down one day when I had mentioned at the 250th party that I'd like to get involved in the museum. And so here I sit today. So thank you, Jack. Amazingly enough, Jack's been on the board for 16 years, and he's served as president for the last 6. And as Lauren mentioned, under his leadership, in particular, the museum you know, has proven to be an incredibly vibrant part of the Marblehead community, supporting and celebrating what makes us so proud to live here. You know, he's so passionate about Marblehead, the town, its traditions, its quirks, you know, you name it. He's endlessly interested in Marbleheaders from the past and the present, as evidenced by the photos he was showing tonight. You know, it's really just wonderful that he will share the photographs like we just saw, the stories online that he's shared. He's introduced so many people to the museum's programs and offerings. He's always thinking about the museum. He is really such a true advocate for this organization. So Jack, I know you're not going very far. We're not letting you go very far, but thank you so much for your leadership, for helping me get ready to fill your shoes. I really appreciate your friendship, the stewardship for the museum. And really, like everyone has said before me, we wouldn't be where we are today without you.
Thank you.
And then as for Amy, well, I really have never encountered anyone more tireless when it comes to lending a helping hand for the museum. You know, I have observed her energy, whether she's designing the book layout and the jacket for the J.O.J. Frost book that was recently published. We reorganized the museum storage units in Lynn, and she was, you know, the workhorse whipping me around there, making sure we got it all done with Lauren. She photographed every piece of the handprints collection. She's made handprints masks out of the remaining fabric that we have from those storage units. She's always been there for me, you know, lending a helping hand, outlining notes for meetings. I mean, I could go on and on. She's always there to help. She's helped me personally many times as I've been getting ready for this job. Her energy and enthusiasm, I'm in awe of it. It knows no bounds. So I really appreciate everything, Amy, that you have done, you and Jack, for the museum. So thank you.
You're here.
And, you know, the only other thing I want to say before we move on to the lecture is that, you know, indeed, these are very, very challenging times. But with Lauren running the day-to-day operation and the strong foundations we have with our investments, we are going to remain on solid footing. And I happen to believe that we will emerge from this period and the crazy times we're in with a higher profile for the museum than we ever could have anticipated. And I think this will be because we can demonstrate our value to the community more than ever. We've already started via the Marblehead Memories Project, and Lauren tipped to a few initiatives to come. I think that the past, present, and the future has never meant so much. And for that reason alone, we are going to be more important than ever. And I think our profile will prove that in the months to come. So thank you, everyone. Unless there's any further business to attend to, I think it would make sense for me to call a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Does anybody has anything?
Have anything?
You can unmute yourself.
So could I have a motion to close the meeting and begin the lecture?
Go ahead
So
and
moved.
unmute yourself.
I guess
Jack
I'm just a
moves.
regular. I guess I'm just a regular member now. So moved.
Jack, may I have a second?
A second.
We got Amy Drinker seconding down there. Another normal
Nice.
person, regular person. There.
All right.
Thank you. So we have, I'll go ahead and I'll launch the poll. And always, if you have any questions, we are still working on the final annual report. The that normally we would have had out already. There's been some hiccups because of the pandemic. So we'll have that, and then we'll send it out to you all as soon as it's ready and designed. I'll go ahead and end the polling, share the results. 100%, nobody abstained on this one. 100% are in favor of adjourning. So I thank you all for joining us for our annual meeting and for your support, and give us 1 minute, not even, while we change over and get David